Hi, I'm Dr. Devalle from Breakthrough Counseling Services. Welcome to my Ride the Wave Anti-Anxiety and Depression program. Well, here it's just me and my notepad. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a professional licensed counselor and a certified counselor with over 25 years experience, and I want to help you with anxiety and depression. It's something that we have to try to help ourselves on a daily basis. But I want you to know that you're not alone in your situation. That here, my Ride the Wave and Cross the Bridge Together program is something we're going to do together. We're going to hold hands and we're going to manage this anxiety. We're going to help you manage your depression and hopefully find a reason and even at the core of how we can resolve this and get you moving on with your lives. So I took a couple of notes here to share with you. Number one, I want you to know the suffering in silence and in solitude is over because you have me here. You have the Ride the Wave program and the Cross the Bridge Together. I'm going to empower you with tons of tools. I do cognitive therapy and we help with the brain. Cognitive just means the way you think and the way you process and resolve things. Problem solve. We're going to help you problem solve, and we're going to empower you in your thinking. Because a lot of this has to do with your perception, how you see the world around you, how you interpret it, and then eventually the way you behave and act. So I want to help you with that. One of the things that I wrote here in my Ride the Wave program is that the wait is over. See, there's two words there. It's a catchphrase. The weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, the heavy weight that you're carrying, and the waiting. People with anxiety, depression have to do a lot of waiting, a lot of discipline, where you don't want to act crazy and overreact and have a pity party and summon everyone to listen to you, and you don't want to overreact crying or staying in your room for days upon days in the dark or use self-medication. Those are overreactions, and yet what we want you to know is that that wait is over. The waiting period of not getting help and not getting intervention, and also the weight that you carry. So here, Destiny has us together here. God has brought us together so that I can help you. I have over 30 years of experience and 20 years in the clinical office, helping people in my office. Thousands upon thousands of patients and clients that I've worked with. And I have freed a lot of people, including in my own family. There's one thing I want you to know, that there has to be an understanding of the condition. If you don't understand anxiety, depression, or other mental health disorders or conditions, then you're really without that knowledge. And you must empower yourself. You must educate yourself to know what it is that is happening. Why does someone have anxiety? Why does someone have depression or low-grade depression or situational depression or clinical depression? So one of the first things I want you to do is to stop labeling. Don't put a label on your forehead. Don't put a label in your thinking that this is a part of you. In one essence, it is a part of you. It could be part of genetics, could be your personality, your makeup. And so part of it is accepting some of the condition of anxiety, accepting some of the depression. It is not all of you, and is not your entire identity. It is a part of you. And what we're going to do here at Breakthrough Counseling Services, Ride the Wave, is help you to manage it as best as possible so it doesn't consume your life, it doesn't consume your thinking. The other thing I want you to know is that the things that we do that sabotage the way we think, the fear of losing control, the fear of being judged, the stigma that is behind the conditions that we have, what it is that we go through. Because everyone else, they wear a mask, they hide behind the mask, they look like they're confident and everything's going great, and you don't know what their situation is, and they don't know yours. And obviously, you don't want them to see you out of control. So in part of it is that you are trying to control this behind the scenes. You don't want other people to see you out of control. But it's okay. sometimes if you have to express that you feel anxious or fearful, scared. And so it is not a forever thing. It is a situational thing many times. It could be a phase you're going through. It could be hormonal. It could be a season that you're in. It could be your environment. It could be your circumstances. That umbrella of circumstances could be a lot of things. It could be relationships. It could be financial. It could be work related. It could just be a life change. You're going through maybe, midlife, your phase, you're turning 50, 60. Maybe the kids have left the house, a job change. Maybe you moved or you're in a new place. Friends in, friends out. That's the seasons of life. And depending on your genetic makeup, your personality type, that might have a lot to do with how you are responding and reacting to life seasons. We want to rule out certain medical conditions, so I'll cover those things. If there's anything medical underlying, anything physical, anything trauma related from the past, childhood trauma, adolescent trauma, or adult trauma, abandonment issues, sex abuse, verbal, emotional abuse, is that at play here? Or is it your environment, or you're on a toxic environment? Is there addictions involved, and why is there addiction involved? So here at Breakthrough Counseling, we're going to help you with the cognitive aspect and helping you with the physical, the physiological, and the emotional aspects of it. What I want to do here is give you a label that you will like. I'm going to make you a surfer. That's the only label I'm giving you with your condition. You'll become a professional surfer. And what that means is you're going to learn the technique of surfing. And that's what the ride the wave is that life throws waves at you, some big, some small. And we have to learn how to balance on that surfboard, that proverbial surfboard. It's just an analogy, but you will be on a surfboard going forward, starting now. You're going to pretend you have a surfboard, and you're going to learn how to balance without falling off. And if you do fall off, we have this channel to help you. You're going to use the tools. We're going to reinforce them over and over. But the idea is to know this, that a professional surfer or an amateur, when they go out to surf and they see that wave out there, they know that there's some danger. They know that there's sharks in there, that the waves are big. They can bring you down to the water, deep into the water, in the sea, and you can get lost in there. You can get confused being in the water. See, these are analogies that we can use in real life. We can be there and lose orientation, lose a sense of who we are when we're in the water like that. So a surfer faces a lot of those fears, and they don't know if they're going to make it back to shore. But they get on the surfboard, they paddle, and they do it anyway. And they get out to the highest point they're waiting for the highest point. They're not trying to ride a small wave. And that's where we want you to get eventually. That you can deal with whatever comes your way, whatever wave is coming your way. You're going to get on it, and you're going to balance, and you're going to come back to peace. You're going to come back to shore where it's calm. So I want to leave you with that. Think about the surfboard analogy. And in my next episode, I'm going to give you the tools, some of the cognitive tools to help you with your anxiety and depression. But right away off the bat, for intervention, I want you to know that all of your feelings rise and all of your feelings fall. And if you learn to ride the wave, even at the highest point, you stay on that surfboard, you're going to see that your anxiety will subside. You're going to see that your depression, you'll have management over it. It's not going to consume you. These are strong feelings that are attached to your emotions. And so I want you to know that if you have depression, if you have anxiety, I want you to move. Because if you freeze, then you cannot process. You cannot come up with ideas. Imagination cannot work if you're frozen in time. So by moving, using your quad muscles, your thigh muscles, get up. Even if you're not sure that you want to get up, just get up and move. Do something. Do something physical for yourself. Go for a walk. Go to the garden. Plant. walk around your neighborhood. If you can, go to the store. Go to a department store or a store that you like, maybe a supermarket, a fresh market, a Whole Foods. Smell flowers. Just get up and get out. Get air, get oxygen. If you're healthy enough to exercise, walk, do a light jog, dance, listen to music. Anything to give you an alternative to the freeze moment you're in. Because when we get frozen like that, we just get stuck. And we get what I call the horse blinders. We get it in a zone. I don't want you to be in a zone and stay in a zone when it comes to your anxiety, your depression, because it will consume you. And so what I want you to do is give yourself alternatives so that your brain sees that you're going to be distracted with something other than, am I going to die? Is my heart going to stop? What's my blood pressure? Am I going to have a stroke? Instead of thinking about you, yourself, you're now focused on something else. If you have those lowered feelings and you can't seem to motivate, you lost hope about things, around you, get up and go to situations where you see people that are a lot worse off than you. I take my family to where the homeless are, under the bridges in our city. I go to places where they're asking for food and money, and you see these people really, really downtrodden, and it makes you really appreciate where you are, your life, where you are. I'm not downing anybody's situation where you are, but I'm not undermining that or minimizing it. But when you start to see that other people are less blessed than you are, and they're in a much tougher situation, it makes you really reevaluate your own life. There's people in the hospitals with cancer, they've had heart attacks, they're having heart surgery, they may not even make it. What I'm saying is focus on what you do have. Focus on the positive. Focus on the things that God has given you, the blessings that you have. And don't focus on what you don't have. Don't focus on this condition being you. It is not you. It is not your identity. Your brain, yourself, who God made you, is separate from this condition. It's like a pimple on your face, a mole on your face, or on your lip, or wherever. Any thing, ailment, or a condition that you're not happy with, it doesn't mean it's all of you. You see, I'm receding my hair. I've lost hair. You can see that. I don't let that bother me. It's not, I wish I had all of my hair from youth, but it doesn't mean it's all of me. I still have other things that I'm happy about with my body and myself. I like my eyes. I like my physical stature. I like exercising. I feel strong. I feel healthy. And I focus on those things. And so I want you to try to do the same thing. All right, so we're going to ride this wave today. We're going to start, get on your surfboards, and whatever situation you're dealing with, at home, school, the environment, wherever it is, you get on your surfboard and you start balancing on there. If you fall, you do what a surfer does. They find the board and then they start over again. And we're going to keep doing this. And what you'll notice is you're going to be falling less and less. Less panic attacks, less emotional responses. You start to gain strength. You start to get resiliency. You start to get confident. Okay, but we'll do it in baby steps. But I want you to know one thing, that God gave you anxiety for a reason. And even sometimes depression, there's a reason sometimes that we feel down, we feel unaccepted, we feel unloved, we feel like things are not going our way. A lot of times is so that we reevaluate. So we look at our lives and we start to see the blessings, the good, how we can overcome. How would you know how strong you are? How would you know how to overcome if you don't have a challenge? If everything goes smooth all the time, in many ways, life would be boring. So it is not always a bad thing when there is a struggle, a challenge, a tribulation, a trial. I have trials right now going on in my life, and you wouldn't know it because I use the tools, and I don't let them consume me. because I promise you, the next wave is coming and you will get to shore. The sun is going to come up the next day. You're going to be okay. So Dr. Devaya signing off here, and we will see you for our next Ride the Wave, cross the bridge together. I'm going to hold your hand, and we're going to cross the bridge together. Okay, God bless you, and I will see you in our next video. Take care, and God bless you.